really.
100%.
It's going to be absolutely outstanding. But first, we are expecting a pretty dominant opening here from Lotus versus Montevallo University. They're located in Alabama, for those of you who don't know that. And it is the first time that these two teams will go face-to-face. Your starting three, Jacobi, Hira, and Emma, coming off of a little bit of a disappointing weekend. They competed in CECC, which is a outside tournament, and they went 0-2, but they were facing some pretty good teams. They're facing the likes of UT Dallas and then Oklahoma Christian. Oklahoma Christian, just a pretty big name here in esports, especially during these last few years. They just won the COD bracket of NACE last season. So very, very impressive stuff there, and looking to kind of bring it back. But this is their first NACE match. They're in Varsity Plus. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Varsity Plus lineups today, what matches are happening around the league, and where that might kind of set this team up moving forward. So obviously today we have WVU Lotus versus Montevallo. We're expecting a pretty big win there, but as we look throughout who else is here, there's three big names I want to focus on: Akron Club, Ole Miss Red, and the St. Clair Academy. St. Clair Academy handing Lotus 2 losses, the only 2 times that they've played them, so a very big deal there. No 4 of what I would consider the big 4 playing each other this week, with Akron playing Wichita, UW Stout going up against Ole Miss Red, and North Texas going against St. Clair Academy. So just looking here, you can kind of predict the wins. You know, WVU, Ole Miss, Akron, and St. Clair, and really that's going to kind of set your league a little bit and set what might be the standings. So what do you think gonna go on here, babe?
Well, obviously 4 big matches coming up here. But like you said, W Lotus, Montevallo, looking for a strong opening here. You know, expecting one, maybe you might say. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting nonetheless. You know, obviously, you know, things can happen. You know, game day comes around, and maybe some things don't go your way. Maybe they do. But I think we're gonna see a entertaining and very fun matchup today.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's look at what the current standings are right now. It's going to be pretty boring because it's still week 1, and all of these matches are slated for 7 p.m. today, just as ours is. But this standing screen is going to look a lot different at the end of the day today. So let's take a look there. So right now, I'm not sure if these are the actual preseason rankings, but I'm really going to expect to see Akron, Ole Miss, St. Clair, and WVU in that top 4, right? I'm going to expect to see those be the 1-0, and then expect to see the rest of them at the bottom. Now, as those teams start to play each other, as WVU starts to get into these Akron Club, this Ole Miss Red, that kind of gauntlet, so to say, that's really where they are going to need to make a name for themselves and where they're going to need to come back. Now, they made a deep run last season in NACE. They were able to make it to their divisional championship, but they did fall in the end, and that, of course, being to St. Clair Academy.
Right.
So a little bit of the target on the back of St. Clair Academy, if you ask me.
100%. I mean, you want to get your get back, you know what I mean? You want to prove yourself that you can prove this year, come back with vengeance, and, you know, like you said, a target on their head, most certainly, and you want to get that and prove yourself, you know?
Yeah, and WVU Lotus, last season being their first full NACE season, doing very, very well. So you can imagine that they are a team to beat in this situation as well. Same roster returning. You know, a lot of these secondary teams for a lot of these programs end up kind of being just that, secondary.
Right.
But WVU Lotus making it deep into that run, making their divisional championship after just their first season together is very, very impressive. You have Yak being very, very offensive heavy with Hira by his side, and then Emma being wonderful on that defense. Let's talk about just some of the stats that they've racked up in just the games that they've played so far alone. So far, they've played 5 games in CRL, and they've played the 2, as we talked about, in CECC. And Yak acquiring 12 goals on 47 shots. So a pretty good percentage there, hitting that shot percentage just above that 25%. And then you have Hira, his kind of sidekick, really. They play off of each other very, very well. She is shooting at exactly 25%, going 10 for 40. Now, we look at the other side. We see Emma falling behind just a little bit. You have 25 saves. It's the second on the team. So, again, but yeah, coming in with 30. Just really being that kind of all-around player. And you cannot complain there. So you want to expect the same things coming back, but right now in CRL they're 3-2, so fairly good there. But when you're talking about what happened in CECC, you really, I did not watch it. I don't really know what happened, but just looking at the statistics here, you have to imagine that we saw a lot of the same issues that we saw last season with the open goals and just overcommitting. So I wonder if they're gonna rein that in here for their first NACE match.
I think they might. I mean, losing twice, like you said, over the weekend in CECC. Both of those games losing by 3 goals, giving up 3 goals there. So defensively, maybe you want to step up a little bit. And one of those matches was a blowout. I mean, 0-3. You don't score any goals, you give up 3. You got to look to change something up there and maybe come in today's matchup with some improvements in your mind.
Yeah, that purpose is definitely a very important factor. They're kind of hoping to not only make it as far as they did last season in terms of the playoffs, but hopefully win that divisional championship, and look to move up in the ranks through Varsity Plus, and because that's really as high as they're going to go.
Right.
You have the main roster in Varsity Premier, so you can only have one team per school in each main division. So it's really going to be a matter of, in my personal opinion, it's going to be a matter of defense. We've seen this team really, really come into their own when it comes to their offensive prowess. Just really keeping the pressure on, but unfortunately, sometimes that pressure is just a little bit too much, and then they end up overcommitting, and we see some issues on that defense. And Emma can't do it all by herself. Just can't. So I'd be very, very interested to see what this offseason has cooked up for them.
I am as well. And you had mentioned this is probably going to be a game of defense here. Like I had mentioned earlier in the CEC, both those games succeeding 3 goals, right? But looking at their wins, I mean, 2-1 in that one. So, only 1 goal given up. The defense, maintaining a low scoring game there, and a lot of these wins that they are getting this season so far have been low scoring games. So like you said, the defense kind of being the most important factor on this team, and if they can step it up and maybe negate the overcommits just a little bit, then I think we're going to see some success.
Yeah, I definitely think so as well. But while we are still waiting for this match, we're going to go ahead and head to a quick little ad break. So do not go anywhere, and be sure, if you want to avoid those ad breaks, to sub to us here on Twitch. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can do it for free using your Amazon Prime sub. But if not, every dollar that we gain from that helps to making this product get better. And throughout the season, we're going to start to run some really exclusive content just for subs. So make sure that you're subbed and watching for those special drops. So we'll be right back on the other side of this ad break. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for waiting through that. And if you're a sub, thank you even more. But let's get down to the nitty gritty and talk about this matchup here. Now, obviously, don't have a lot of information about Montevallo, but what we do have is extensive information on the starting three. So let's just hop right into it. Let's talk about Emma real quick. Kind of what I would. I almost feel bad saying this, but kind of that tertiary player on the roster. When I think about this Lotus roster, I mainly think about Yak and Hira. But Emma has really been a stout defensive player in and out and in and out, and I don't think that's ever going to change. So, despite only having just 6 games to go through, we have a good bit of tell on kind of how this is going to go. Emma, like we said, having the second most saves on the team with 25, and a lot of those actually came during a what I believe was a loss. No, it was a loss. But both of those saves, both of Emma's top save games came during losses. So we're seeing 6 versus Concord and then 6 versus UT Dallas. So it seems as if when the other team is shooting more, you're going to have more saves. And that's obviously what happened because they lost. They got more shots on goal. But we're seeing the saves come through. So that defense is really important. Now, the problem is that we're not seeing a lot of follow-up. We're seeing just a couple goals scored. And during that Concord game, a complete shutout there for Emma. 0 goals on 6 shots. And versus Northeastern, which was a win, we're seeing 0, or was it a win? No, it was not. It was a loss. 1-2. We're also seeing 0 goals, 8 shots. So it's interesting to see that even during that, we're seeing a lot of that defense. So we're seeing, the 6 blocks. When you get those blocks, you got to go back downfield.
Right.
Those blocks can't just be getting the ball out of the net. It needs to be getting the ball to the other side of the pitch. In our interview with Gyro on the first episode of On the Country Roads, he was talking about how important it was to really bounce back after defense and kind of use that momentum to go and score a goal. And we saw a couple of clips on where they did that, but we need to see a lot more of that. And I really think it's going to start with Emma.
I agree with that. Yes. I mean, like you said, these blocks can, they can come in big, turn the defense into offense, right? Defense wins championships there. But if they can maintain that and maybe try to turn that momentum into their favor, like you said, if you're receiving shot after shot, you can't block all of them. You can't save everything. Eventually one's going to find the back of the net, back of the net there. But I don't know. I mean, if, we can see that and the momentum can shift, we're going to see, I think, a win tonight.
Yeah. I'd like to point out that Emma does have some big assist games here. We're seeing 2 against Penn State, 3 against West Virginia Wesleyan, and 3 again against Northeastern, and then 1 against Oklahoma Christian. So we are seeing the assists are there. The ability for that downward pass, so to speak, is there. Just a matter of how consistently can they do that. Because if they can do it fairly consistently, then there's no reason this team shouldn't be putting up 6-7 goals a game. But unfortunately, that is not the way of the world, and it's not necessarily what we'll be seeing. But some of, I mean, I really would say her biggest game here against UT Dallas, which was unfortunately a loss, and that UT Dallas loss came after her score, 1,200. You were averaging 300 per game. 1 goal on 3 shots, 33% shooting average. No assists in that game, but again, 6 saves. So I would be interested to see if that continues throughout the season. If we see when Emma has her big games, if the total ends up with a loss.
Yes.
Because if that's the case, then that's a problem, right? Because that means when your tertiary player is having their biggest game, you're not able to pull out the win.
Right.
So, I think that is something very similar to what we saw last season with the main Rocket League roster. We had one person have a really, really big game, but the other two just didn't keep up.
Right.
So, speaking of the other two, let's walk on over to Hira and to what I personally dub one of the best assisters on this team, even though the stats don't show it right now. Only 6 assists on the season so far, but some massive, massive defensive games here. We're looking at 7 saves in the Oklahoma Christian game, 5 in the UT Dallas game, 5 in the Concord game. And again, that's going to come because those were losses and things like that. But 7 in the Oklahoma Christian game is absolutely outstanding. But the difference that we see here between Emma is the goals. 4 goals on 15 shots, 3 goals on 5 shots. What a game there. 1 goal on 9, 2 on 4. We're seeing a lot more offensive production, and that comes from that 2-pronged attack with her and Jacoby.
Yes, 100%. But, I mean, the defense there, so many saves, a lot of these plays. But like we said earlier, if you're just, shots on goal the whole game, you're not, producing any offense, you're not, putting pressure back on them. You're, eventually one's going to find your way through, and you have to, like you said, that 2-prong attack, focus the momentum towards them, make them play off their back foot and, catch them out of rotation and try to get a score. But not really happening too much. But like you said, one player has a breakout game, the other two, maybe you don't pick up as much slack, maybe play a little bit less of a ideal performance there, and then you end up losing overall.
Yeah,
So
and I think it's interesting to see that the shots on goal in that Oklahoma and UT Dallas game, 33 and 35 respectively for the opponents.
yes,
It's a lot. That's
It
over
is.
10 per game. And we're seeing, but a very low shot percentage, though. The only team to crack over 30 was UT Dallas, so that's 31.4% with 11 goals on 35 shots. So we're still seeing very, very strong defense, because if we look here, the shot total of the entire team is in that 20%. Currently, opponents are at about 24.3. So they're on average doing more, but the Mountaineers are still able to come out on top fairly often. And I really think that CEC tournament is really tainting
it is.
these.
100%.
Because you go against 2 powerhouses.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about Oklahoma Christian. They're in the Super Conference in a majority of games.
Right.
They're consistently good. They have a wonderful coaching staff over there. And you're talking about the Lotus roster going against them. Let's not beat around the bush here. They're not world class. They might play like it sometimes, but they're not going to be able to consistently beat those kinds of teams. So I feel like if we were to really put apples to apples here, you have one of the best varsity plus rosters there is in Emma, Yak, and Hira. It's just a matter of what they are able to do with it. So let's talk a little bit about Yak here in what I dub the best player on this roster by far. I remember at the beginning of the season last semester, we were talking about Yak as kind of a confused, lost soul. Didn't really know where he fit in on the team. He was coming in after the Lotus roster was nearly scrapped. They dropped their 3rd member because, of course, as you all know, that roster was the first all-female team to compete at such a high level, and it was a very big deal. But then you lose a member, and now you have Hira and Emma kind of just sitting around, and Yak, who was a sub for the main roster, come in and play wonderfully. But in those infant matches, those first, I'd say 2 to 3 matches, we really saw just confusion on the team of where Yak was going to fit in. Was he defense? Was he offense?
Right.
Was he the assist guy? Was he the demo guy? Mind you, he's not the demo guy.
Not the demo
That's
guy.
Hira,
Yes.
and she gets going.
Yeah.
But it's just so wonderful to see what he has become, and that is an absolute offensive powerhouse. If you see some of the angles that he takes with these shots, if you see some of the dribbles that he gets on these opponents, it's just insane. And that is reflected here by his stats. 3 shots, 3 goals on 10 shots, 3 goals on 7 shots, 3 goals on 9 shots. We're talking about 3 hat-trick games in this season. And the only game he did not score was versus Concord, and that was only on 3 shots. So if he's taking anything over 3 shots, he's putting the ball in the net, which is just very, very impressive, because you have to imagine over a best of 3, you're going to be shooting the ball more than 3 times. So I would definitely keep an eye out on that. If you see Yak shooting the ball a lot during a game, you can expect it to be very high scoring, because he's going to put the ball in the net. It's as simple as that. And it looks like he is also playing some great defense too. 6 saves versus Concord. Actually, 3 games with 6 saves. Concord, Northeastern, and UT Dallas. Obviously, all losses. And then Oklahoma Christian, 7.
Yeah.
So, very, very impressive stuff there. I cannot really I can't.
I mean, it's a two-way player, you know? You need him on offense, he's there. You need him on defense, he's there. You can just kind of, he's everywhere on the field, you know?
It is very impressive, and I'm especially just looking at some of these shooting percentages: 30%, 42.9, 33.3. Yeah, I mean, 42, 3 goals. That's 3 goals on 7 shots. For those of you who can't do the math at home, it is just incredibly impressive. And across the board, this team has been impressive and will continue to be impressive. And I'll tell you that right now. I believe it was in our crystal ball segment on the country roads where Will and I made our predictions, and I fear Will might be right. Will predicted them to go 6-1, and I do believe I said 5-2. But the more you look at this roster, and the more that you look at even during their losses, their stats, it's just very impressive. So I would not be surprised to see a win today. I would not be surprised to see a win in a 3-0 manner.
I do agree there. I mean, I think the defense is going to step up today. Offense usually doesn't struggle as much, like you said. I mean, Yak, insane player. You know, the dribbles, everything, has the whole package. You know, just really can pull anything out of the bag, it seems, a lot of times. I mean, and efficient as well. He's not a player who's just going to keep shooting at the goal and just hope one day he finds it. You know, he's going to take a shot, and 30% of the time, he's making that shot. You know?
It's extremely impressive what they're able to do. But let's kind of move over to a bit of a what-if scenario. Let's say that this game doesn't necessarily go how we think it's going to go, right? They either struggle and barely eke out a win, 3-2, or worst case scenario, they lose.
Right.
What does that really mean in terms of where they go?
Well, obviously, like you said, the CECC was a bit of a taint, right? But powerhouses, you go up against a strong opponent and you have a decently strong showing. It's not that bad for you, But now you go up against somebody you maybe expected to win against, and you squeak by, or even worse, you lose. Then maybe those CECC matches weren't just because your opponent was too good. It was, your own deficiencies. So you have to now show out that your opponent is a little bit less, competitive, and you have to show what you're made of and what you can do.
Yeah, and that's really going to come down on a lot of coaching. Coach Evil really will have a lot to decide because, look, there's no subs for this team. It's not like the main roster. The main roster has Angel, Matter, Tool, and now Gyro on the bench, right? So and mind you, your bench player is a professional. a professional Rocket League player. He's never missed a regional and has been top 4 consistently.
Right.
This Lotus roster is not the same. This Lotus roster is Yak, Emma, and Hira. That's it. Full stop. It's a lot. There's a lot of similarities between that and the COD roster. You know, that COD roster is just Ciaro, Strike, Tables, and Ethan. There's no one else.
Mm-hmm.
So if they start off the season with a loss here somehow, then there's going to have to be a lot of conversation about, you know, what's going on in terms of strategy, because there's not a personnel issue.
No.
Because it can't be a personnel issue because there's
issue.
no one else, you know? So it's one of those things that it's going to have to be a complete culture change. You can't
100%.
just kind of
Someone
throw someone else in and
Yeah.
see what happens. For those of you who have been with WVU Esports for a long time, you remember that original Valorant roster. That original Valorant roster was changing like hotcakes. I mean, you had so many people being put in. You had Euros, you had Chronic, obviously. Just a lot of people got Berg just going in and out and in and out. So it is not like that anymore for any of these teams, really. I'd say that the only team that consistently has someone that can sub in is the main Rocket League team. So I think that's going to be a kind of overall theme for the entire program.
Right.
Is if you have problems, you need to fix it internally, because there's no one else that can come in and be a breakout star. You know, it is going to be this or nothing.
100%. But I mean, looking at the bright side of that, you know, you can't somebody in or out, which is obviously, I'd say, overall a negative, right? You have to ride or die with your teammates here. But that builds chemistry. You know, it is you and these few other people, and that is it. You know, if one of you is not playing at their best, then you're going to suffer. There's nothing you can do about it. It's all, I mean, you're all close knit, you're interlinked. You know, you're one team. You truly are at that point. So you obviously have to strive to be the best that you can as a solo player, you know. Obviously, maybe the idea of losing your spot might be more, but I mean, I would say, you know, the idea of letting your 2 people down who, you know, I mean, they're doing their best, and if you're the issue, then there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just it is a double-edged sword here, really. On that hand, you have there's no one else coming, but on the other hand, there's no one else coming. So we need to fix it now.
Right.
We need to fix it for each other, because this is all we've got. And I will be interested to see how that plays out throughout the semester. It's definitely going to be tough at times. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be difficult, because unless every team plans on going 7-0, then you're going to have these losses. You're going to have these breaks in your confidence, and that's really where they need to shine. And they also need to do the right stuff off the game too. You know, you're talking about keeping your grades up, coming to practice, doing your conditioning, everything like that. It's you know, people look at esports and you're like, oh, well, you're just playing video games. No, it is a college. You are a college athlete. You are a student athlete. And a lot of people forget about the student part in that student athlete. So, you know, they have lives outside of this as well. And it's going to be very important to see how they balance that and what they can do with that. But while we're waiting to get this game started, we're going to go ahead and send it to another short little ad break. Once again, if you want to avoid those, make sure to go ahead and subscribe. Use your Prime sub. Do whatever you need to do. It helps us greatly. And we'll be right back on the other side of this short break. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for bearing with us, but it is just about time here for the matchup. Montevallo, WVU Lotus. God, I'm so excited.
I'm excited. I'm ready to get into this. I know you are as well.
Good grief.
I mean, this is big.
This is absolutely massive.
Massive.
I cannot. It is the first stream of the season. We're going to go out. It's going to be a win. I'm
100%.
I'm predicting a 3-0.
Okay, so your defense is
I'm
up. Defense locking down.
Full
Today.
in 3-0.
I might play devil's advocate. I might go 3-1. I think maybe just one slip through, just one. But I think offensively,
whatever. No, he's wrong, and it's okay. It's okay to be wrong.
What if one slips through like first 2 minutes? What happens then?
Really okay. No.
No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Not the first.
It's going to be 3-1. Mountaineers gotta win. Doesn't matter.
A win's a win.
A win's a win,
win is a
but a 3-0 win is
it's a bigger W.
Is a massive W.
W.
I would be also very intrigued to know what's going on in the league as well, to see if those kind of top four end up where I think they will end up, and if they do, then I'm just a genius. So
simple genius.
Genius.
Predicting.
It's not even predicting. It's prophesizing.
It's just formulating it.
Exactly. I made it happen.
Yes.
So if those teams win, I won.
What if they all lose? Then what happens?
Then I am not to blame. No. Couldn't be.
It's their own choice.
It's their fault. Exactly. But if they win,
it's all you.
It's me.
You put little magic fingers.
Exactly. But let's kick off with WVU Lotus, as we see going in here. I'm actually not quite sure who that is, as we do not have the names on our screen right now. So that is Yak's car. I do know that. I do know that. Okay, here we go. So, and that's gonna be an opening score here from Montevallo. K coming in out of nowhere. And Emma, they're just We're back. WVU now down 1-2. There must goal somewhere. Not sure who it was. We'll be able to figure it out, but oh no. This is not looking good, but Yak gonna come in over the top, able to get that, and they're gonna knock it right in! Emma, look at that. That's exactly what I told you they needed to do. They needed to turn those defensive stints into offense.
Exactly what you want to do there. I mean, look at that. Nobody is home, knocking one in for Emma, tying it up.
And wow, it
perfect.
It actually looked like it was Emma on that first goal as well. She's at 2 shots, 2 goals, 100% shot accuracy right now. Lego going to be looking to take it up top, but no, Hira says, I will take that. And now we're going to see that offensive, and that's going to be a destruction onto Hira, demo. But now, look at the offense. Yeah, takes it in. And it seems like the open goal woes are on the side of Montevallo now.
I mean, wow. I mean, this has been already a very high offensive game here. I mean, very impressive right now. But yeah, 3-2 already. 2 minutes in this game left.
Yeah. And the Mountaineers take the lead for the first time, and now we're going to see this kickoff go the way of Montevallo. A little bit of a fake out here. Mountaineers, a beautiful dribble there by Hira. Yak coming in back over the top. A beautiful block there from Lego. And now we're going to say the NK2. Ooh, no one to follow up on the cross there. Lego trying to take it. Yak comes in, sends it streaking over the top of the goal. And now that ball coming back. Emma on the ceiling looking for an angle. So close. Hira gets it in.
Touch in there. Almost found its way the first time, but Hira able to get it up there.
Yeah, and it looks like even if it didn't go in, Emma was surely there.
Yes, definitely there for that.
With the finish up, and now the Mountaineers go up by 2 as we see them win that offensive tip. Now, ball going back towards the left side. Montevallo going to be able to clear that out. A wall right here. Hira trying to get an angle, but cannot get the better of 1K. And now, oh my gosh, that ball nearly went in. Hira stalking her prey like a wild jungle animal. Now going to have to retreat back, play some defense. That ball goes in. Lego. It's 2 for him. Oh, sorry, 1 for him.
Just ahead of Hira there. I mean, almost got back in time for that, but escapes the grasp off the nose, and what you can do there. Emma,
they were both
so close.
Emma and Yak both narrowly missing that shot, but the Mountaineers still up by 1. A minute 15 remaining. That ball gets sent skyward after a 50 win there by the Mountaineers, just barely, but now we're going to see K over the top. Emma able to clear it just a tad. Lego going to try and recenter this ball, but not before Jacoby comes back over the top. A bit of a dribble here. K able to clear it, and now hoping to get some offense, but no, that ball goes streaking back over to the Montevallo side. The demo there onto N2K. And the Mountaineers just trying to play keep away here for these last 45 seconds. Now, K has a chance, sent it to the middle. If there's any follow-up, they could surely score, but Yak says no. A beautiful block by him. But this offense is still unrelenting from Montevallo. They want to tie this thing up, and they might have an opportunity here, but not before Hira deals it off. A little bit of a pinch there, but a shot on goal there by N2K. Going to be unsuccessful. The demo onto Hira. Mountaineers now down 1. N2K does not have enough boost, and a beautiful demo onto N2K. I believe that was Hira, the mass destructor herself. And now just 1 second, as long as that ball touches the ground, Mountaineers going to come out on top.
A lot of demolitions we saw in that final minute. I believe it was 4 demolitions there. Able to keep the pressure off and keep the lead in their hands. No ties there. But 3, I mean, nice shots on goal by Montevallo there, but nothing hits home. The saves coming in.
Yeah, and we'll look at Emma with that 100% shot accuracy, 2 for 2. A beautiful showing there. And Hira and Yak both finding 1 respectively. Hira, of course, coming out on top with 5 demolitions. Nothing new there as the Lady of Destruction shows her face once again.
Incredible there. I mean, like you said, Emma, 2 shots, 2 goals. 100% success right there. I mean, when you need her to step up there, I mean, there it is, 2 for 2. Very effective. That's what you want to see.
Well, let's head into game number 2 and see if the Mountaineers can't recreate what they just did. An early streak here from Montevallo, but it will be all for naught as Hero's going to take it. Some beautiful dribbling off the sidewall. There's, seemingly no one in net, but it's going to be N2K able to get the ball on top and now steal it back for some hopes at offense. An angle there, almost taken by Jacobi. Lego sending this thing skyward, and now N2K back to Lego. Lego off the top bar. No one there to follow up. Possibly just off the sidebar is K's shot, and that could have spelled disaster for the Mountaineers. They could have started down 1-0 once again, but again, sometimes that goal is the best defender. Double demolition here by the Mountaineers, and they still almost get scored on. But it's going to be Hira clearing that ball. Lego stealing it back, sending it to the back right corner. He's going to try and get a bit of a clear. That boost stolen there by Emma. N2K coming back up against the cross. Going to lose that 50. Lego in the air. Reset. Now up through the top. Montevallo. And this is a bit more defensive than the first match, as we have gone now a minute 15 seconds before any goal has been scored. Montevallo now again with this offensive prowess, that boost being stolen there by Lego, but not before that ball gets cleared. Jacobi trying to get something done in the air. Look at the angles, look at the follow-up. Not there, it goes a bit awry for K. A very nice opportunity there for Montevallo, but no follow-up. Yak expending that boost down to nothing. Is there a follow-up? Over the top, can he put it in? Oh no, a beautiful block there by Lego, but here comes Emma. The angle is just a bit wide. Jacobi coming back in over the middle, loses that 50, not able to keep control of that ball, but it is still on the Montevallo side of the pitch, and we are nearing the halfway point here. 2 minutes, 53 seconds, and NK2 over the top. Beautiful goal.
Starting us off here, I mean, a much more defensive-sided match we're seeing so far. I mean, the first one, it was part of the wake-up call, you know? So offensively with this now, seeing a bit more of that defensive prowess, like you said, coming in.
And we will see if the Mountaineers are able to respond here, but that doesn't look good! NK2 off the tip-off, Mountaineers go down 2.
Now, I believe similar to what we saw last one, also going down, I believe, 2-0 or 2-1. Back so, but opening goal going to Montevallo once again here, but not what you want to see there. Not
at all, and now the Mountaineers just have 2 minutes, 49 seconds to regain some footing, get 2 goals and possibly a third. And here comes Yak over the top, but a beautiful save there by Lego. Emma trying to do it again. They need to keep this pressure on. This is something that we've talked about so much, that offensive pressure, but no! It's an open goal! Is Montevallo going to capitalize? It appears not. The Mountaineers, by the skin of their teeth, able to avoid a goal there, and now once again back on this offense, but they need to keep the pressure up if they want to get a goal here as the clock ticks down to nearly below 2 minutes. The Mountaineers don't have a lot of time left to do a lot of scoring. We're going to see NK2 cross midfield to K. And here over the top comes Hira. No angle there. The follow-up a bit left. Yak has, it looks good, but no. Coming in over the top, I believe that's NK2. Yak, just misses that angle. Gets pushed a tad bit, and that's going to send the angle all wrong. Yak getting some boost. And now they need to get this ball out of there. That was a beautiful setup there by Montevallo. A demo onto NK2. This could be what the Mountaineers need. Yak right back, steals it. The ball now perfectly centered, and Lego from about 3/4 field. Good grief.
I mean, we're seeing some incredible shooting here from Montevallo, but we're also seeing not the best defense this time around. I mean, I think W's getting a lot of shots on goal here too, but Montevallo is just simply saving all of them.
Yes, it is absolutely a defense to stand here for. And nearly another goal there. That would have been certainly the nail in the coffin. Just a minute 15 remaining. Lego can't get it. There's no follow-up. I don't think his teammates necessarily expected that one to happen so quickly. And now the Mountaineers with a shot, not going to be able to send it in. And it is quite the unfortunate turn of events. Oh, nearly Emma from the top. But no.
These saves are coming in mass from Montevallo right now. Save after save. I mean, WVU, not much they can do right now. Lotus, I mean, trying their best to get these shots on goal, and they're getting them, but they're just not finding the back of the net now. But 40 seconds remaining here. 3 goals necessary to try to tie this thing up. It's not looking likely, but miracles have happened before. Now, Kay, playing that back of that goal, trying to just waste this timeout, you know, make it go down. 30 seconds remaining now. Not a lot of time for Lotus to come back. Kay trying to find the top angle, going across, but nothing is home. No one is centered.
Yeah, it's going to be anything short of a miracle here. Kira sends one in, but they're going to need to essentially score off of tip 2 times in a row if they want to come back here. It's not looking great for this Lotus roster in Game 2.
Not at all. 2 tip-offs necessary here. If we see it, might go crazy.
It would be absolutely insane. And unfortunately, it does not look like that is the case here. 11 seconds coming in over the top. Hold on, there's a possibility here. Oh, and the shot just goes left, and that's going to be it for the Mountaineers. 2 goals, 3 seconds, just doesn't happen, unfortunately. And this ball will be grounded, and the Mountaineers will go to Game 3.
Wow. I mean, crazy defense there by Montevallo. I mean, we're going to see these stats right now. Obviously, 1 goal on the side of Lotus now, but 2 saves coming in today. Yeah. I mean, obviously, some shots coming from Montevallo, but obviously a lot more Montevallo. But the is still coming in heavy on the side of Lotus. 2 on Emma, 2 on Hira, 1 on Yak, but just not going to go their way. The shots selection from Montevallo and the shots in general here were just, I mean, much faster on their side.
Yeah, those bars are highly in favor of Montevallo, except for the demos. Of course, we know how much of a demolition derby this team likes to play.
Construction crew.
Yeah, you know it. But we will see. So, unfortunately, my score prediction is incorrect. But you could still be right.
I could still sneak one in.
You could still sneak one in. We'll see if we... Yeah, if they can win these next 2, be ideal, and then the Mountaineers start the season off 1-0. But it looks like they need to be able to find a way to put the ball in the net. The defense not necessarily too staggering there.
No.
Of course, 3 goals, never what you want to see, but I do believe that they can absolutely hold this one out here as we get to starting up game number 3. Let's see what the Mountaineers can do here. Opening tip-off, 50 win by the Mountaineers, and that's going to be Lego taking it back. Now, defense by Emma. Not going to last for long, as it's going to be Yak in the air trying to do something with it. Bounces over the defenders, and now it's going to all be on K. But oh my goodness gracious, it looked like a little bit of an overcommit by the boost there, and that's going to be an early demo onto NK2. And Yakobi trying to get something going here on offense, as we're going to see. Emma gets the bump. That goal is currently open, but the Mountaineers just not able to keep control of the ball. Hira, a nice little dodge there, but has to win a 1v2. Unfortunately, that is not happening. Lego going to be able to clear that ball for Montevallo. And now, oh no, Emma, nice clear there. Going to send it to midfield, but now the Mountaineers still on the back foot. Emma going to try and get a clear, gets it to the center. Hira has it now. We've seen her do crazier things, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen there. Yakobi up top just gets to that ball a tad bit too late. NK2, a beautiful dribble there over the top. Now going to play it slow. Has to get around 2 defenders. Will not be able to do that. It's going to be Yak over the top. And K with a beautiful block there from a ball that was actually about to go in. Yak over that crossbar. Lego going to be able to send that thing back towards the Mountaineers, and that's going to be a demo by NK2 onto Yakobi. But the Mountaineers able to keep a little bit of pressure here on the Montevallo side. But, ooh, that was a intense 50 there. A pinch by NK2 to slow that ball down. They want to be able to keep control of that thing. And now look at this. Hira with an opportunity. She just needs to dribble it, but she cannot get around the stout defense of NK2. And now back into offense. Yak clears it, but it's going to be K coming in over the top. Lego gets demoed, so that should give the Mountaineers a little bit of time. And once again, we're seeing just about halfway through this game 3, still scoreless. So these defenses coming in clutch, but a beautiful block there by NK2. And Lego over the top. Is there a follow-up? There is! A beautiful goal there by Montevallo. NK2 coming in with the finisher.
Beautiful indeed. This is kind of wrapping up to be kind of similar to the last match. I mean, low scoring, but Montevallo now pulling out the 3rd time with the opening goal.
Yeah, and Emma just a tad bit too late. Perhaps didn't have the boost enough to get to that ball in time. And no! Open goal again! It looked like a mirror image of what happened in game 2.
Watching a VOD right now, this is insane. I mean, the same exact thing happened. Low scoring in the beginning, Montevallo finds one, and I expect one on the tip-off, and now Lotus on their back foot once again.
Yep, 2 minutes, 36 seconds. Mountaineers down 2. A nice demo there onto NK2, and that ball could have gone in. We're going to see over the top. Yak playing a little bit back. Doesn't have as much boost as he'd hope. Emma with 0 boost, expending it just to get that ball there. And Hero with a little bit of a missed dribble, but is able to get it around the defenders. Emma coming back in over the top. A little bit of a fake there. They thought Hero was going to take it fully. Yak needs to get something going here. The backflip. Oh, and a nice little steal there by K. And now heading into offense mode is Montevallo, but not before Emma comes and steals it back. Angle just a little bit to the right there on that shot. And now the Mountaineers need to get something going. Just a minute 50 remaining, and we are down by 2 scores.
Not looking good right now. Minute 43, like you were saying. But the shots just, they're not getting many shots on goal here. Lotus not finding many, but NK2 will get demoed there. Gonna have to have a nice comeback here for Lotus.
Yes, just a minute 30 remaining. But this offensive pressure and the angles, it's all about the angles. Lego hits one from left field.
Not good there. Oh, and it kind of bounced off the side there. Incredible 3-0 now. Lotus once again finding themselves down. Maybe can find one here at the end. Not get shut out, but it's going to be incredible if they can find their way back.
Yep, and just a minute 20. Score 3 goals. We'll see if they're able to do it, but with this offensive pressure, I'm not sure. Montevallo has just been so aggressive, and the Mountaineers not so much, but over the top. And a nice save there by NK2. As another shot comes in, and now Lego with the save. And this ball streaking in the air. Oh my goodness. If Lego was just a tad bit more patient, that certainly would have been another goal, and a little bit of a rule 0 there on the wall. We're going to see this ball cleared over back towards the Mountaineer side of the pitch. Montevallo looking to put this one away, certainly. And now all up in the air. It looks like NK2 is going to take it himself. Yak tries to clear it, but Lego comes right back and keeps that offensive pressure just gleaming down the neck of the Mountaineer defense. Emma will see if she can return to some offensive form, and no, that ball's going to get taken right back by K. And there's a shot here. There's a possibility, and Hira misjudges the angle, and that is going to be a nail in the coffin there. Mountaineers are going to get sent to match point.
Not good at all. Finding one last goal here in the final 16 seconds, but not what you want to see a shutout looking like here in this 3rd match. I mean, we said earlier defense was going to be, you know, the deciding factor here, but the defense not coming through too much, and the offense not coming through much either. I mean, I thought maybe in that first match we were seeing a lot of goals on both sides.
Yeah.
So, you know, if Lotus and Mountaineers are tighten the defense a little bit, their offense was clicking around, but now the 2nd and 3rd match, finding 1 goal combined in both of them, not what you want to see.
Definitely not what you want to see, and look at that one right there. Again, the demos being so lopsided to every other statistic. It just kind of makes you wonder what is going on there.
Bumper cars out there.
Yeah, and why they are not necessarily able to capitalize on those. But the Mountaineers now getting sent into game point. This is match point. they lose this one, they're going to start the season off 0-1.
Yes, I mean, we're seeing, if you look at these saves here, Emma, Hira not finding any that game, but Yak with 3. You look over at Montevallo, it's a bit more evenly spread out. 5 total, which is 2 more than the Mountaineers there, but just still evenly spread out, you know? It seems like Yak with the most in that game just by himself. I mean, gotta step up a little bit defensively here. 4 goals to your 0 is not what you want to see, especially now going into match point. You might be a little bit thinking, well, what's going wrong right now? Where am I playing where I can play better to clear these out, get the saves? And I've seen so many times where Hira's right there, so close to getting the save off, but just a second too late. Can't find it, and it finds the back of the net.
I mean, something needs to change here if you are WVU. You need to find a way to get that ball in the net if you're not going to necessarily pick the defense. And starting off with a demo there onto Yakini. Look at this. Oh, Emma with some very good defense there, playing one-on-one against NK2. That's going to be massive in terms of the start of this game. That could have certainly started off 0-1 there for the Mountaineers. But a nice block by Emma to avoid that. Hira sends it to the middle, but Emma's not able to follow up. But Yacobi on the secondary. That ball still in control, coming down from midfield. Oh, Emma once again just not able to follow up, and a little bit too high a shot there by Hira. But
a lot of pressure.
This is that pressure that they needed. That's exactly what happens when they apply that offensive pressure. They whittle them down, and they're able to find a way to put the ball in the net, and that's exactly what happened.
Find that angle. A game of angles, one might say, and the pressure there was too much for Montevallo. Like I said earlier, get a lot of shots on goal. Eventually, one's going to sneak through, and it does there.
Yeah, that just being able to take away their boost with shot after shot after shot is how you need to play this game. And now Yak deals it. Who is going to be there? Sends that ball to the middle.
Anybody home?
Ooh, it looks like Hira wanted a taste of that one, but does not find the shot in the end. And now Yak backline defense, Hira on this right side taking the ball, but that's going to be a demo onto Hira. Loses control of that ball fairly quickly. Very fortunate there. Lego with a missed shot. And now going to come back and play defense. Hira sends it off the back wall. Emma!
2-0. That is the first time the Mountaineers now are finding themselves in a lead early on in the game. Finally able to play on the offensive here. Montevallo now the ones looking to play on their back foot in the beginning of these matches, and some early goals here. So this is exactly what you want to see. Yeah,
and a beautiful block there by Hira after the pass to the center was actually able to kind of control that Montevallo defense. Oh my goodness gracious, that was centimeters away from a goal, and the Mountaineers getting a bit lucky there. I'm certain they thought that one was going to go in. This ball going to get centered now. Is there anyone to follow up? No, but hey, over the top, Emma perhaps with a shot here. No, that's going to be Lego taking it away from her. And now Lego says, Lego my ego. It is time for us to get in this goal. But the Mountaineer defense standing strong. A nice little dribble there. Lego passing up in the air. Now going to take it himself, but not before Yak sends that thing way over there. And Yak now with the center. Over the top, Hira! She's got 2.
Hira finally finding some footing here. Amazing 3-0 start here for the Mountaineers. I mean, pass right in the middle. Beautiful, beautiful assist there. Yeah. This is what you want to see right now. This is a great start to stay alive.
Mountaineers are not going to go quietly.
Might take it all the way. Got
Yes, absolutely. They still have 2 minutes and 48 seconds of soccer hard ball to play. And now that, ooh, if that was just a tad bit to the left, that was certainly going in. NK2 looking to get some offense going here. Off the top, Lego sends it to the middle, but Hira with a bit of a steal, preserving what little piece she has, picks up the pad. And now, look at this ball just kind of staying still in this corner. It really has not moved until now. And the clear comes by Hira. NK2 off the roof, loses control. The Mountaineers once again get, oh my goodness gracious, K nearly a disaster. Oh, that could have been such a tight angle there for Hira, but no, and that's going to be a demo onto K. no one there to follow up on the center. Emma kind of just sends that ball into the middle for no reason. And now Hira sends it middle. Follow up. It's there. Emma 2, Mountaineers 4-0.
Maybe looking for a hat trick here. I mean, wow. 4-0. Now we saw that pass earlier, not finding anybody, but there it does. The back of the net is found. Great start. I mean, we're seeing over. I keep saying it over and over again, but it keeps getting better.
Yeah. Now the Mountaineers demo on the Lego. The Mountaineers can put up a 5th goal here. It's going to be a pretty tall order, but NK2 starts off the scoring for Montevallo. 4-1, minute 38 seconds. It's definitely possible here, and you would really hate to see that.
I'm definitely on the side of the Mountaineers here, but Montevallo, I mean, enough time in their hands for sure to make it a tied-up game, but they're going to need some tip-off goals, which they have gotten before, so not out of the question.
Absolutely. Hira streaking down this left side. And now we're going to see the ball back in control of Montevallo. NK2 had a nice little run there, but not before it was thwarted by Emma. Emma over the top. There's a possibility for a goal here. The follow-up just not there. Jacobi now going to try and take it himself. The dribble, beautiful, against 2 defenders. You can't stop him.
You cannot stop him at all. Double team doesn't matter. Yak will find the back of the net, and he does there. Beautiful play. 5-1 Mountaineers now. Okay, put this thing away.
Absolutely, and the defenders thought Yak was going to send that thing into the ground, but nope, kept it in the air, sent it into the back left corner. A beautiful, beautiful shot. NK2 looking for his second. A nice bump there onto Emma. Should clear out the goal momentarily. Lego coming in over the top, but not before. Emma, I apologize, Jacobi over on that right side. Now 1K trying to play a bit of defense here, but with just 1 minute remaining and down by 4, it's not looking great for Montevallo. NK2 gonna put it in. That's his second on 4 shots, but the Mountaineers still up 3, 50 seconds remaining.
NK trying to do all they can, but 2 goals there, but the scoreboard not reflecting too much success. But, I mean, 3 goals to 51 seconds?
It's not impossible. It is not impossible whatsoever, but the Mountaineers looking to keep this offensive pressure going as they need to do and send this thing to a absolute Game 5 banger. Demo onto Jacobi. That ball going to be cleared out now. Just 30 seconds remaining. The Mountaineers just need to keep this up, and they will be going to a map. And there it is, Hira, the hat trick. Just a sneaky little shot there. It didn't even look like it was really set up for her, but she just goes in over the top right before K can get to it.
Well, dunk there, dunk.
Yeah. And now the Mountaineers up 4 with just 27 seconds remaining. You have to imagine that this one is put away.
Most definitely, for sure. 20 seconds remaining here. Okay. We're looking for, just get a little cheeky hat trick in there.
It's going to be K with, yeah, and NK with the 2 earlier. Okay. So, you know, the Mountaineers giving up these goals late, it's not terrible, but in this map, in this Game 5, that's about to come up here, you really need to just lock in.
No, for sure. Yeah, you don't want to sit back at all. You know, you want to make sure you close this thing out and go into this next match looking to close it out fully and come over with the W, but don't want to let anyone sneak through. Don't want to any momentum shift at all. You want to keep this in your pocket and walk away with it, but the pressure there for the Mountaineers, I mean, insane.
Yeah, that's
like
exactly.
A pressure washing company there. I mean,
that is exactly what they needed. They needed that win very, very badly. And in that manner, I would have loved to see less endgame goals by Montevallo, but of course you can't really complain. Of course, a hat trick there from Hira. That's going to be 4 demos once again, kind of doing it all. Jacobi playing defense there, 2 saves. And the Mountaineers send this to a Game 5.
Indeed. I mean, Hira, great one there. I mean, you're just looking at these, 4 demos, 4 shots, 3 goals in those 4 shots. 75% quick maps in your head there.
Yeah, look at you.
Cool, look at me, guys. You know what I mean? But 2 assists as well. Offensive machine. Had a touch that means on every single board.
Well, let's see what the Mountaineers can do here as they hope to close it out in game number 5. This has been an absolutely thrilling match, and of course, the demo comes early onto Lego. And now the Mountaineers looking to score early. With the follow-up, no! The ball not able to get in. The defense from Montevallo, very impressive there. This ball getting sent down to the ground by Emma. NK gonna clear it. Now Yak over the top with the center. NK2 says, give me that. A bump by Yakobi though. Now this ball getting centered. Is there a follow-up? No, there is not. Not before Lego can send it skyward. Yak has the opportunity here. And it looks like they're going to give it to Emma. Hira over the top. The angle is just barely missed. And now Hira has an opportunity. And Yak from midfield comes streaking in and takes that little light tap. Look at this. Hira says, here you go, Yak. Bang.
Served it on a platter. I mean, wow, that was a great assist coming in there. And now another early lead for the Mountaineers.
Let's see if they can extend that once again. They did it fairly quickly the last time. But Kay with a beautiful shot, but Hira is right there to take it back. Yak taking the assist, and we said those two play off each other so well, and we're seeing that in action right now. Emma, oh, just a little bit to the right. That shot was surely gonna go in if the angle was correct. Yak gets 50 by Lego. And now we're gonna see Hira, a little bit of a backflip. That reset, Emma over the top. Can she take it herself? She might not need to. She has the backup. Again, these pressures are so important. Hira and Emma now playing defense after Hira got demoed. And now look at this. Just keeping NK2 off the ball, and Emma finds a way to sneak it in. Mountaineers up 2-0.
NK2 with nothing in the tank. They're not able to do much, and another assist coming in. I mean, that is beautiful. So far, so good for the Mountaineers here.
Mountaineers starting off this last game strong, but we saw what happened last time. They let up some late game goals. Let's see if they can avoid that this time. Mountaineers looking to just put their stamp on this, go up 3-0, but ooh, that is gonna go in. NK2, and it looked like Emma was just simply outnumbered in the backfield there.
Not much you can do there. A lot. Yeah, I mean, not much you can do. Got the block, but rejected back into the goal, and 2-1 now. Montevallo trying to crawl back into this thing.
Yes, and making this one exciting, certainly. The Mountaineers keeping us on our toes. Yakobi going to be able to clear that out momentarily, but not before the offense is right back and moving for Montevallo. Lego gets demoed there. Emma, a nice clear. That was a dangerous angle taken by Montevallo. And once again, this defense is now having to work overtime. Lego with the shot. Oh, and gets denied by the crossbar, but not before. Again, just that shot after shot after shot is so taxing on a defense, and 1K comes in with one more. And now we're going to see NK2 perhaps try and get a shot of his own. A demo onto Hira. The Mountaineers are just depleting their resources, but they finally get the ball back over to the opposite side of the pitch. Hira just misses that ball. Yak gonna try and send it over top. Emma lying in wait. Can she get the angle? It's there, but no setup was found. Hira trying to send something in, but this ball is going to be back in the control of Montevallo as they send this thing back towards the Mountaineer side of the pitch. NK2, a demo onto Hira, right back onto NK2. And now Montevallo with an opportunity. Lego center stage. NK2 trying to come back in on the refrag, not going to be able to get it. And we're going to see the Mountaineers with a good offense here. It just goes a tad bit high. And now coming in over the top is NK2, able to clear this ball. A minute 26 seconds remaining in the first match of the season. Mountaineers up by 1. Can they go up by 2? They can! A beautiful side field dribble, and Emma sends it in. Look at this. Hira just barely gets it over the competition, and a demo will finish it off.
What a Mountaineer way to do it with a demolition there. I wouldn't say the nail in the coffin, but it definitely does help. Give you a little bit of comfort, give you a mattress to sleep on, and 2-goal lead.
Absolutely. Lego getting demoed early there. Hira with a clear. And now Montevallo pulling out all of the bags, all of the tricks, anything they can, and it's gonna be blocked by Hira. A beautiful block. Very, very impressive there from the Mountaineers. Let's see what they're able to do. Again, they are still playing this defense. Emma gets demoed. Now back on that respawn. Oh, Hira just goes a little bit low. Emma comes in with the retouch. Jacobi sends it down. There's no boost. Oh my goodness gracious. That is NK2 with a, pardon me, I believe that was K. Just barely gets it in. No, Kira didn't have the boost. She couldn't go around. That was certainly the last goal for the Mountaineers if they were able to get that one in. But all they have to do is keep the ball out of their net for 22 seconds. Mountaineers, game 5. Can they hold on? Yes, they can. 15 seconds. Montevallo need a goal, and they need it now. 10 seconds remaining, and this looks like the Mountaineers going to start their season 1-0 in a Game 5 banger. Mountaineers come out on top. This ball is going to be grounded, and your Mountaineers are going to emerge victorious. What an opening game to the season.
That was insane there. I mean, closer than you might have expected, but 3-2. Neither of us correct in our predictions at all. You know, it looked a little bleak when it was 1-2. You know, they had a very lackluster offensive game.
Yeah.
Match point. You have to come back strong. The mental has to be there. It's a mental game at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And it is there. The mental fortitude comes in clutch. They come back goal after goal. The offense just seemed to kick into a new gear. I mean, incredible. You know, you saw it in the first match, the offensive prowess of this Mountaineer team. Second and third, not so much. But then in that fourth and fifth, came through with the clutch. These stats now taking a look. Demos classically going the way of Lotus. And we have 2 goals from Emma there. We talked about, you know, we need some more goals, you know, a little more offensive prowess going on there. But we'll find her way.
I mean, that was just, what a way to start the season of Mountaineer Gaming. You really cannot complain there. I hope all of you were just as hype as we were for that win from Rocket League. And right now we are going to take a little bit of a break just to warm up our voices just a tad bit. But we are going to be right back here with the main roster against Akron. Going to be an absolute banger. So do not go anywhere. We're going to be back with WVU RL versus Akron.